Hi, I'm James Posey. I'm an oncologist here in the Philadelphia area. Welcome to Project Impact. Project Impact is a men's health initiative. It's a unique partnership between Jefferson, Penn, and Me Productions. If we look at prostate cancer in the United States, we know that among ethnic groups, African Americans have the highest incidence, and we die more frequently from prostate cancer. We're 2 times more likely to be diagnosed with prostate cancer and about 2.5 times more likely to die from prostate cancer relative to the other ethnic groups in the United States. Well, unfortunately, when it comes to health, oftentimes we don't know the right questions to ask.
Being an educator, you would think that I knew about the prostate. You know, I knew I had a prostate, but did I know all the ins and outs about prostate? No, I didn't. So when I was told I had prostate cancer, it was like a shock.
It's good and it's important for us to learn the right questions to ask so that we can be engaged in the process of taking care of ourselves.
I found a major thing with men that I've talked to is just sheer procrastination, just procrastinating. I'll get around to it.
Years and years of not going, it sets a pattern. Maybe their father didn't go, you know, their uncles didn't go, so it's a pattern also that happens with African American men. They don't see anyone going to the doctor unless it's really a dark crisis in their family.
National guidelines for screening, as I mentioned, have evolved. So, for instance, we would initially say that men between the ages, in the African American community, between the ages of 45 and 69 should be screened annually with digital rectal examination. There's also a blood test known as a PSA that can be used to help understand if there are changes that warrant further evaluation.
Well, I think there are stages that you go through. I think the initial stage is probably going to be shock and disbelief.
When that happened to me, it's like, wow, no, not me. What did I do to deserve this?
So I think there's a stage of questioning, you know, what has happened. But then I think you then move to a point of acceptance. And now, what am I going to do about it?
If we're not a part of the clinical trials, if we're not a part of being evaluated, then it becomes a hidden mystery, like the prostate itself. So as we begin to break down these barriers and understand, is this access to care, is the disease process more biologically aggressive, we'll know how to take the next steps. But we first have to get involved. We first have to get screened and be evaluated and have the discussions about what the next steps are.
In my case, you know, I did not know about support groups. I didn't know that they were available. And it was just a feeling of isolation.
If I had a prostate cancer support group back then, for me, that I knew about, I think I would have been more prepared for what I've gone through.
I think men can relate to other men who talk not out of something that they've read about, but something that they have experienced. And so I think one of the most important things is to develop a cadre of particularly African American prostate cancer survivors who can talk honestly about the experience.
So when I tell them my story, they start thinking like, whoa, I think I need to get something taken care of.
But I think it can be an incentive for them to say, if this person has gone through it, then maybe I could go through it as well.
My message is, don't be afraid of the unknown. You know, it's something that you need to get done if that's part of your screening process. I have a picture and I have a sample of Don't Fear the Finger, and I show that to them, and they smile.
By participating in a trial, or participating in discussion, participating in this initiative, you're indeed helping with a better understanding of what affects not just you, but those like you, those like me, so that we can better take care of our temples. It's the only one we've been given.
Prostate health, or prostate cancer if it comes to that, it's not necessarily a death sentence, that you can still live a high quality life.